The decriminalization of drugs.
Oh, okay, cool.
Okay, here again.
Okay, I vote yes.
Okay. Hi, my name is Sierra Shelton.
Hi, Sierra.
Hi. And this is for my class of communications. In my speech today, I will be talking about the decriminalization of drugs. Most of the legal drugs are marijuana, heroin, cocaine. These are the most common ones, and amphetamines and meth.
You're talking about people that use to do drugs over here.
Right. And I'll also talk to you about the decriminalization benefits, and then like why they need it and how it'll help the society in general. Okay, so illegal drugs, just a little background about it. Illegal drugs have been around since basically the dawn of time. Even the Byzantine Empire was using it, which was, if you know that, was like one of the first empires. And so they used herbs and medicinal elements to calm down and relax and everything. When it really started, they really started criminalizing drugs was in 1930. It started with marijuana. They wanted to have a cause to fight after, to go after, because they weren't making enough money after that. And it was mostly the minorities who were doing it also. So that had some impact with it. And Nixon, it was during Nixon's campaign and everything, and it was just terrible. Okay. And a reason why most people do drugs is because it makes them feel good. Yeah,
Makes you feel so good.
Yeah, it makes them feel good. Because they might be missing something they feel they're not getting from their regular environment. They feel that they're not loved, they're not happy. And when somebody takes drugs, most of the time their accounts is, I feel like I'm getting a warm hug. I feel like I'm actually being loved. I feel like it's helping me out. And that's why they use it. And I mean, okay. And so okay, so like what they do with the negative side, what people think the negative effects are with drugs are, they think that drugs are the cause of most of the problems, when really it isn't the drugs at all. It's the people behind it, the people who are selling it, the violence and the criminalization of the drugs. So yes, shut up.
Can she do her speech, please?
And the effects that it has when they criminalize it is it breaks up the family, because you're going to send somebody to jail because they're doing drugs. They're doing it to feel better, but you're making them feel worse, and they don't even have any and when they don't even have any institutions in prison to help them get over their addiction. So how are they ever going to get over it if they're just tossed into a cage with much other violent criminals, and they're just shown that that we really don't care, which is why they're taking drugs, because they feel that nobody cares about them. It also costs a lot of money to house all these people, and when we're just going to put them right back in, because let's face it, over 50% of the people who go to prison for drugs are back on drugs after they get out, because they weren't given the help. So, like the treatments, how they treat them makes them feel worse and makes them more addicted, more liable to do violent crimes to get the drugs they need, because they can't get them through any illegal ways. And the government sees them, they don't see them as somebody who is in need. They see them as somebody that they need to lock up and take out of society, which is actually the reverse of what they should be doing. They should be trying to help these people deal with their problems. And it's also shown that if they are chosen, like they did studies in the UK where they decriminalized certain drugs and they let people go to like this hospice sort of place. They were given, they could take as much of the drug they wanted. And it showed over time that they started with moderately high, like they didn't go super high, they didn't go outrageous with the drug use. They just started moderately, and it showed over time that they would choose to take less and less of the drug over time. And they were able to get through the problems they were facing. They got the counseling they needed. They got the help they needed. It ultimately made their society a better place for them. And also, it would so some of the benefits would be not only a better society, it would also help with the taxes and everything, because it's reported where they have legalized marijuana, which is just one drug. Imagine what would happen with multiple drugs. When they legalized it, they increased tax revenue from 40 million to 70 million. The proposed thought when they first legalized it was, oh well, it'll just increase by 1 million, but it increased exponentially more, and that's just one commonly used drug. And also, if they could also keep control of the people who are taking drugs, if they decriminalized it, let them have hospice, they could make sure they're doing okay, because most of the problems, the things that happen when they take drugs, most people think it's the drugs themselves, but it's most likely the stuff the drug is cut with, because since it's criminalized and they can't do it out in the public, they do it at night and they try to make the most money they can, so they cut it with different substances which are very deadly to people, obviously. And so they die from overdoses of, they cut it with fiberglass, and they cut it with all sorts of drain cleaners and all sorts of stuff they don't even know about because it's not regulated. If it were made legalized, then they could make sure that it's done the right way, everything's right. Okay, and then it could also help decrease the drug problem, decrease the violence, because most of the violence comes from drug dealers selling, trying to get their turf, trying to get everything, and that's where the violence comes from, not the drug dealers themselves. They're just people who want to feel something when they feel nothing, and they feel like they have nobody. And so with the decriminalization of drugs, I feel that this can make society a better, healthier, safer, happier place. And here's
All right, we vote yes.